Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel Venus Educators. I'm your faculty Syeda Salima Tehsin. Today we are going to talk about structuralism in English literature, which is a very weightage section of UGC NET examination. So today I have brought this topic in front of you with a lot of research I have done. I have seen that many questions are framed from this topic. So let's begin the session without further delay. What is structuralism? Try to understand what is structuralism first. Understanding the foundation of structuralism. Okay, so structuralism views literature as a system of science and codes focusing on underlying patterns rather than surface meaning. It emerged in the 20th century as a revolutionary approach to understanding how meaning is created through relationships between elements. So, in simple words, we can say that structuralism is a study of structures. Every structure has certain rules and they function on that particular rule. So every structure follows certain rules, and everywhere we found patterns, even in our culture and in our thoughts. For example, marriage, religion, relationships, everything is in a structure. If we look at political makeup, we find democratic structure. Yes, a person identify in a structure. For instance, if I am in a class, I am a student. If I am at a home, I am a mother. If I am in a college, I am a lecturer over there. So this is somewhere you are a single person, but you are different in structure. So every structure has a sign and codes. Hope this concept is clear. Let's see. System over content. Emphasize on structure rather than individual element. So you are not focusing I'm the same person. You are focusing in what structure or in what context you are understanding me. Here I am in front of you. I am your lecturer obviously, but at home my children call me mother and my husband treated me as his wife. So that is their structure they understand. Binary opposition. Meaning emerges through contrast and differences. What is binary opposition? Binary opposition means we understand the things in binary opposition. Means if I say you are not beautiful, you will understand that you are ugly. So though we have not said anything, but in a structure that not beautiful, you understand that you are ugly. This is the thing we called binary opposition. Universal pattern. See common structures across all human expression. So this is if I humiliate you in the classroom, it is obvious that you feel bad. This is called some universal patterns. Nobody feels happy on scoldings, right? So who is the most popular person, or we can consider the father of structural linguistics? Ferdinand de Saussure. Okay, so he has given some important concept that is very important from the perspective of UGC NET and TG set. So see, lang versus parole. What is lang? Distinguish between language system and individual speech. So what language system is lang, whereas individual speech acts as parole, establishing the foundation for structural analysis of literary text. So we can say that what is lang? Lang means language system. That means, for example, if I want to say, what are you doing? I need to write, what are you doing? This is the language system. I have put the sentences in particular order, like first I am keeping the WH word, and then I am keeping the helping verb, then the verb. Likewise, I have framed a sentence, that is language system. But when it comes to individual speech, I can say what's up. Okay, I can use what doing. So there is no particular structure, but the as possible as it conveys the meaning. That's all. So that is called parallel here. Next, so one more thing you can see, establishing the foundation for structural analysis for literary text. Now, if I say what are you doing, you will understand that I am talking in a formal tone. Maybe I am speaking to somebody who is elder than me and powerful than me in hierarchy, right? But whereas if you see the text what's up, you will understand that I am going to talk to my friend. So this is lang and parallel. Then we have next concept, signifier and signified. So developed the concept of linguistic sign as comprising the sound, image, signifier and concept signified, revolutionizing literary interpretation. So let's understand what is this. What is signifier and signified? So signified fire is a word, whereas signified is a concept. Let's understand. I'm telling you a word like tiger. I'm using a word tiger. So you might have framed a concept in your mind about a boy who is very brave in your family after listening the word tiger. But the word signifies is a signifier, it's a sound, that only a sound, because signifier means you have multiple meaning of it in your brain. So you might have heard people saying, what does it mean in your dictionary? I don't mean saying that. So it is that kind of signifier and signified, because everybody has their own dictionary, isn't it? So they will understand on their own meanings. So that would be the concept frame already in their mind. That's why that word sounds like that. They feel bad. So next we have arbitrary nature of signs. What is the arbitrary nature of sign? Argued that the relationship between signifier and signified is arbitrary, opening new avenues for understanding literary meaning making. So meaning making, just now I told you that why it is arbitrary, why it is can be changed, because it completely depend upon how you are, what is your mentality. So for example, I can use tree. Every language has a different name for the same concept. It is culturally construct, we call it tree because community decided it, isn't it? Why we call tree as tree? Because community has already decided it, so we are going to say tree. But when it comes to a Hindi terminology, what you do, you say a tree, you call it as ped, and in Telugu you will say chettu, isn't it? So that is arbitrary nature of signs, though it has multiple word for that. Now next person in this is Claude Lévi-Strauss. He talked about anthropological structures in literature. So what is it? Lev applied structural anthropology to literary analysis, revealing universal pattern in human storytelling. His work on myth structures provide a framework for understanding narrative architecture. So he has given a concept called myth and kinship. Here I have not mentioned that, but he has given a topic, myth and kinship. So what is kinship? Kinship is how we organize relationship with people through blood or marriage. That is kinship. Kinship is associated with people by blood, right? Like your children, your parents will be the kinship. Blood relation and relationship after marriage is also called as kinship. There is universal concept in every human culture, isn't it? Is there any culture like who says that your wife is also your blood relative? No, but this is a universal culture that kingship means your uh, after you die your property will be going to or belongs to these persons, right? So every culture has a universal pattern of that. No culture says that if I die, give my property to my neighbors. They'll say that give it to my relatives. So this is a universal culture. This is called kinship. Now what is myth? Myth of different culture appear to be different, but if we see structure, we have same structure. They are saying the same thing. So identifying reoccurring patterns in mythological narrative that inform literary work. So you see, husbands are called as gods. Yes, in Hindu mythology or Hindu scriptures. Likewise, we also Muslim also believe that is a very important or integral part of our lives. So though we are having different patterns of marriage, even though we follow the same belief that husband is a very important person, right? Next we have binary opposition, analyzed how cultures organize meaning through fundamental contrast. Every uh, culture organize a fundamental contrast. Like once we say that husband and wife are equal, again we are telling the opposite thing that husband is superior. So this is where we are creating binary opposition. Then universal grammar proposed that all human cultures share underlying structural principles. So everybody, you see, if somebody died at our home, do we feel happy for that? Irrespective of our religion, we have the same pain, isn't it? So that is called as universal grammar. Next person about whom we are going to talk in this particular section or concept is Roland Barthes. Very important figure. Many questions can be asked from this. So see what he has to say. Roland Barthes. Death of the author. First concept of Roland Barthes is death of the author. Revolutionary essay arguing that the author's intentions are irrelevant textual meaning, shifting focus to the reader's interpretive role. So what he says, once I write something, I die, because with what mind, with what intention, with what meaning I have written, it's not going to convey as it is to my readers. My readers will interpret the text according to their background, according to their mood, according to their perspectives, isn't it? So he says that, arguing that author's intentions are irrelevant to text meaning. Means once I write something, that's all. Now it's upon you how you are receiving it. Okay. Next, cultural codes. Identified 5 narrative code that structure literary text. What is cultural codes? Identify 5 narrative codes he has given in order to understand cultural codes. So see, hermeneutic, poetic, semantic, symbolic and cultural. He has given these 5 codes. What is hermeneutic code? Anything in the text which is mysterious and unexplained. This lead readers to question and engage in reading. Like we see the to be continue in serials or daily soaps, we'll see that something going to be happen. Our villain enter into the scene, and therefore the episode will be end. It will written like to be continued, so that is called hermeneutic. Then proeretic means there is sequel elements of action in text. These elements often add suspense to the text. So it is similar to hermeneutic but different. How it is different? Here is a sequential element, but in hermeneutic mysterious things are present, where in proeretic you are going to create suspense, but there will be mysterious things, something which is hidden. Might be the villain who entered was a illegitimate child of the hero. Likewise, they create some mysterious things. The person entered with some mysterious intention in hermeneutic, but in proeretic you are going to add suspense. Just like somebody's marriage is going to be there, and that dead husband came back in that wedding, so they'll be stopped. Now either the wedding is going to be completed, or the heroine going to see her husband back. Likewise, so suspense created, right? Next thing we have semantic code. These are elements which carries referential and extra literary meaning. So literary meaning which added for effect, like somebody is saying something, with that you'll see that there is a loud music. If there is something shocking, like everybody's face was focused and everybody's expression was noticed with certain music and lights, sound effect will be there, right? That is called as semantic code. Then next we have symbolic code. When two connotative meaning brought together in opposition, it is like a oxymoron: hate versus love, science versus religion. In this opposition, we understand the themes of the novel, what novel is trying to tell us. So see, any story will take, even we see many times Ramayana also, there you are going to understand that good is going to and ultimately win over the evil. So here evil also shown as Ravan, and goodness also shown as Ram, right? So this is last we have cultural code. Cultural code is to refer to anybody of extra knowledge. For example, in the middle of a movie, any shlok was recited. Why? Because we Indian understand what is the reason behind it, and where it is difficult to understand to a foreigner. Yes, so you might have seen that when something is going to happen in the movie also, they'll be playing the song like Yuge Yuge Dharmisya, means they want to show that here whenever something bad is happening onto this earth, somebody will come to protect, right? So that kind of shlokas will be added, and we understand that what is the significance of that, what is the importance of this shloka in the middle of this movie. But whereas when a foreigner watches this movie, he is not able to understand what's going around, right? So Roman Jacobson is the next person about whom we are going to understand. Roman Jacobson. So what he says, linguistic functions in literary analysis. Jacobson's communication model identified 6 linguistic functions with particular emphasis on poetic function that foregrounds the message itself in literary text. So what he said, referential functions, emotive functions, conative functions, poetic functions, phatic functions, and metalingual function. So basically what is poetic function here? Focus on message, form and structure. Metaphor and metonymy, two fundamental modes of knowledge, language operation. Phonological patterns, analysis of sound structure in poetry. Next person who is also associated with psychoanalytical theory as well as the structuralism, Jack Lacan. What he said, the symbolic order, language has the realm of law and social convention that structure human consciousness and literary representation. So symbolic order means language as realm of order, social convention means in which context you are living, your literature represents that. Okay, the next one is the unconscious structure like language. Revolutionary insight that the unconscious operates through linguistic mechanism influencing literary analysis of character psychology. Last we have mirror theory. This is very important from the examination point of view. Mirror theory developed by Jack Lacan. He says that developmental theory explaining subject formation applicable to understanding character development and identity in literature. So Lacan's psychoanalytical structuralism transformed literary criticism by providing tool to analyze unconscious structure underlying textual meaning. So he also says that if you want to understand something, then what you need to apply character development and identity in literature. So here he is telling that criticism provide tools to analyze the unconscious structures underlying the meaning. So here, for example, I hate you, okay, and I want to tell you a different thing, like I want to say you are the best student, though I hate you, but openly I am telling you that you are my good student, so best student. Instead of saying best, I use the word beast. You are my beast student. So this is not just the slip of tongue according to Lacan, it is something underlying textual meaning. So somewhere in my mind I don't feel that you are good, so instead of best I use the beast. So structural theory, literary criticism methods and approaches can be said as binary analysis, narrative grammar and semiotic reading.